Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hit the Bid here on June 14th. This is Ty Robbie here through Week 24 Market Watch. Today we're going to run through our charts and see what happened in these markets over the last week and see what we need to be ready for as we head into Week 24. So let's jump right in. First on the board today, we got our August live cattle. We continue to see some back and forth action here in this live cattle market. Last week we did see some early breakdowns there, but this market is still staying sticky here between this 235 and 245 range. This market just continuing to stay sticky in this area after getting marked down off of these all-time highs in recent weeks. That all-time high coming in back here for this August live contract at the beginning of May at 251.65. Since then, we have seen some lower highs and lower lows as this market has slowly pulled back, but no major breakdowns here recently. We keep threatening that 237 level, but each time we probe down there below it, these bulls keep stepping in, offering some good support there as we test that long-term support line, which is this 200-day moving average. Each time we dip down there into the mid 230s, the buyers step in and offer some good support, so we're not really in any danger of some major breakdowns unless we get a close down here below 235. In the meantime, we'd expect to see this choppy back and forth action continue as this market looks pretty comfortable here, trading around 240. As the bull case goes, we continue to see good long-term support there at that 200-day average. The bulls are not letting this market get too slippery. We are just a slight discount off of those all-time highs, so this market is still in some pretty strong territory. We want to see this market continue to consolidate here in the area. We'd like to see a little bit more stability and better structure here, see some tighter daily ranges and some better low-risk reward points to trade around here in the week to come. If this market is able to consolidate here and put some pressure up on this mid-240s area, as we have seen some resistance here in recent weeks. We got a little pocket of sellers here kind of keeping a lid on things over the last 3.5 weeks or so here. We'll have to see those bulls try and chew through this area, but a close back here above 245 should get that uptrend back on track and see a rally get underway in the event of a close above 245 in the week ahead. We do have some good news on the Iran front here this week, so that might be the pop that this market needs to kind of get that ball rolling. We'll have to wait and see. We're probably good for a little bounce, but unless we can get some sustained action back there above 245, I wouldn't be banking completely on the news to take this market higher. We need to see some better structure here and a nice strong close back up here above 245 to flip that script and get those bulls back on track. In the meantime, we don't expect to see this market really go anywhere in a hurry. We'd like to see this thing continue to consolidate and balance out in this area. We're not expecting any major breakdowns. The bulls should continue to find support here. They just need to get some good traction back above here through some of these supply zones. And back above 245 should get that ball rolling higher and take this market up to those all-time highs. So look for this market to try and get some traction back above this area, and we'll see if those bulls have what it takes to start pushing back up into the 250s here into week 24. Next up, we got our August feeders on the board. This feeder market has been a little bit more slippery in recent weeks. We have seen an undercut of those current year's low back here, testing 336 in the last 2 weeks. This market hasn't been balancing out quite like that live cattle market has, but this market undercutting those lows and seeing a nice response here. Good buying activity, heavy volume pushing back off of there, and last week we saw good consolidation back up against these averages. We did see a breakout on Thursday back above that 50-day, but we did see it kind of settle back inside Thursday's range with a weekly close there just right around 357. This market still has a little bit of work to do before we can quite count on it to get this uptrend back on track, but if we are able to get back above last week's high at 360.65, that'll be the first step in the right direction. We need to see the bulls take off here and get a nice strong close back into the 360s to get that rally back underway. We still got a little bit of resistance overhead, so it's not going to be a smooth climb out of here, but the bulls have a chance to get this rally back underway and try and push this feeder market back up into the 370s. Needs to be a little bit more work done here to get that rally back on track. If we see things start to get offers down here below 355, which was Friday's low, we could see another little pop down here into the 340s or the 350 area to try and pick up some more buyers, but we should see these bulls continue to try and put some support together here in the week ahead. Like I said during that live cattle market section, a little bit of good news here from the weekend might be good for a pop, but we'll have to just wait and see if those bulls can sustain that momentum and keep this market trading higher throughout the week ahead. Look for a daily close back here above 360.65 to get that ball rolling higher, and we'll have to wait and see. with a nice strong week here if this cattle market is able to get back on track and start pushing back towards those all-time highs. We're not really super concerned about any major breakdowns here. This market has been pretty comfortable in the area, so at worst we expect this market to stay sticky in the area, but looking like the bulls are setting up for a potential chance to get this rally back underway here. Look for them to try and get some good action here early above our bull pivots, and should set us up for a potential rally and get this uptrend back on track. Next up, we got our July corn futures on the board. This market has been beat down in recent weeks, and last week was no exception. Early part of this week balancing out here between 4.15 and 4.25. Seeing this thing just kind of bounce around here, but just not really able to get that relief rally underway. We did see this market finishing back down here near these contract lows last week, printing at 408.5. Already testing them so far here in the evening session, as we did undercut last week's low. If we do get any sort of offers down here below 408.5 during the day session tomorrow, look for that selling pressure to keep on pushing down there towards $4. We're not too far off from that key psychological level, so we could see this market trade down there here before we get any relief rally underway. But any sort of bids above 417 could get those sellers to start covering a little bit, take some profits, and could get a little bit of a relief rally underway. We aren't expecting much to the upside here, but if this market does push back above 417, look for a bounce up here towards these averages, but rallies will be sold into. This downtrend is looking pretty nasty here. We got a lot of selling pressure here in the last about month or so, and we expect to see that action continue here into the summer months. Rallies will be sold into. Look for good selling opportunities back up here near these averages. But in the meantime, look for this corn market to keep getting beat down here in the week ahead. Next up, crude oil prices continued to slip last week. We did see this market opening up here near these averages, but not able to get much traction back above them. Recent weeks, we have seen these lower highs putting pressure down here on this $85 to $90 floor that we've seen here since the early part of March when this thing all started. So far here in the evening session, we did see a continuation of last week's downside. Market gapping lower here, testing $80 here so far in the evening session. This market is pushing down into some lows we haven't seen since April and March. Starting to undercut some of this big blow up days range lows there, and we should see more selling pressure continue to creep into this crude oil market. If we continue to see any sort of good news coming out of the Iran front, we should see these prices continue to bleed back down here towards the $70 to $66 range. Not much upside expected here for this crude market. Look for this thing to keep on bleeding lower here with continued offers below 83 here during the day session tomorrow and throughout the week ahead. And last but not least, our indexes seeing a nice pullback opportunity last week, some selling pressure coming in early, and seeing some decent volatility last week. Big wide swings here between our major averages for the Nasdaq and the S&P. Good bounces back and forth off of that 50-day moving average, offering some good dip buying opportunities, good discounts here across the board. Good time to be putting some more money back to work last week. By that dip, we've seen it get bought, and we're already seeing some good upside here so far. Coming off the Sunday night futures open, big gaps higher here across each of these indexes. The Dow already trading up into some new all-time highs tonight. S&P and the Nasdaq are not far off. We expect to see this upside continue. The market doesn't care about the news, whether it's going to go on or not. This market remains strong and resilient. Very strong environment right now. We should see this market continue to heat up and see some more upside for stocks here as we head into the summer months. That's all we got for this weekend. Look for stocks higher. This cattle market needs to find some good support here in the week ahead, but they got a good chance to get this rally back underway. And we should see some big green numbers tomorrow regarding all this news and what's going on. We should see some good upside come from this and see these markets get back on track. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. We'll catch you guys tomorrow night for closing comments.